In a small, quiet town, Sarah, a single mother, was trying to carry the weight of the world on her shoulders. Her life had been a constant struggle, but recently, everything seemed to spiral down even further. Her small house, which once felt like a home, now felt like a prison of endless bills and responsibilities she couldn't escape. She had 2 young daughters, Khadija and Layla, who were her entire world, and despite the hardships, she tried to smile and pretend everything was okay. But deep down, Sarah felt the suffocating grip of fear and worry every day. She could no longer hide the truth from herself: they had no money. The rent was overdue, and she had no way of buying groceries. There were nights when she lay awake, heart heavy with guilt, wondering how she had come to this point, feeling like a failure as a mother. One rainy afternoon, she decided to go to the grocery store. It was a tiny, humble place, but it had everything they needed for the week, or at least she hoped so. She could barely afford it, but she had to try. Khadija, her youngest, skipped beside her, blissfully unaware of her mother's silent anxiety. The little girl's innocent laughter filled the air, and Sarah couldn't help but smile. But that smile was tinged with sadness, knowing that she wasn't sure how long it would last before the cracks in her life became too visible. As they reached the counter to pay, Sarah's heart sank. She reached into her purse, only to find she didn't have enough money to cover the cost. She felt her face flush with humiliation. Her hands trembled as she fumbled with the few coins and bills she had. The cashier's cold stare pierced her heart, and she could feel the weight of judgment in the air. "Sorry, ma'am. You're short," the cashier said curtly. Sarah's eyes welled with tears. Her chest tightened as she glanced at Khadija, who was clutching a small packet of cookies in her tiny hands, blissfully unaware of the situation. Sarah wanted to break down right there, but she couldn't let Khadija see her weakness. She couldn't let her daughter know that they might go hungry tonight. Just as Sarah opened her mouth to apologize and tell the cashier she would have to put everything back, a voice from behind her interrupted. "I'll take care of it," a man said, his voice calm and reassuring. Startled, Sarah turned around, her heart racing. A man stood there, his face kind but serious. He was holding out a credit card toward the cashier, a gesture of calm generosity. His presence was oddly comforting, like a warm light in an otherwise dark room. "I'll cover the rest," the man insisted. Sarah felt a rush of emotions: confusion, relief, and disbelief. Who was this stranger, and why was he helping her? "Thank you, but you don't have to," Sarah stammered, shaking her head. She didn't know if she could accept such kindness. The man smiled softly. "It's no trouble. Everyone needs help sometimes." Her heart was full of gratitude, but at the same time, she felt a deep sense of shame. How could she, a grown woman, have found herself in such a desperate situation? But the man's kindness was like a balm to her wounds, soothing her fears, if only for a moment. As she left the store with her groceries, she couldn't help but glance back at the stranger. She had a feeling there was something more to him than just a good Samaritan. To her surprise, he was walking behind her, keeping pace. "Thank you again," Sarah said, her voice trembling. "But I still don't understand why you're helping us." The man stopped, and his smile grew wider. "It's not just about giving you money," he said, his tone gentle but filled with conviction. "It's about believing in you." Sarah's brow furrowed in confusion. "Believing in me?" "Yes," the man said. "I can tell you've been through a lot, and you're doing your best for your daughters. But sometimes we need someone to remind us that we can do more. I've seen people struggle and come out stronger. You just need a little push." He paused, then continued. "I'm Elon Musk." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. She had heard that name before, of course, but she never imagined she'd meet the man behind it, let alone be the recipient of such kindness. "Elon Musk?" Sarah whispered, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You're really him?" Yes, Elon said, his eyes warm and understanding. And I know what it feels like to face hard times. I've been there too. I want to help you change things. Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes. Was this real? Was she dreaming? It was hard to grasp that someone as successful as Elon Musk was standing before her, offering not just help, but a chance for a new life. Elon took out his phone, dialing a number. I have an idea, he said. You've got the potential, Sarah. Let me help you tap into it. Sarah felt a flood of emotions, hope, disbelief, and a deep sense of wonder. Could it be? Could this truly be the moment that changed everything? How can I ever repay you? She asked, her voice shaking. Elon smiled and shook his head. You don't need to repay me. Just take this opportunity. Believe in yourself. It's all yours. As Sarah glanced down at her phone, she was stunned. Elon had sent money to her account, a large sum that would take care of her bills and then some. It felt like a dream, but it wasn't. It was real. And it was the beginning of something new, something full of possibility. Her heart swelled with emotion as she looked at Khadija, who was now holding her hand tightly. Mom, Khadija said, her voice full of hope, are we going to be okay? Sarah hugged her daughter tightly, her heart full of gratitude. Yes, sweetie. We're going to be okay. Tears rolled down Sarah's cheeks, but this time, they were tears of joy. For the first time in a long while, she felt like everything was going to be all right. Life could be hard, but sometimes, just sometimes, a small act of kindness could turn everything around. And as she looked at Elon, she realized that the road ahead was full of opportunities. She just had to take that first step, with belief in herself.